All right, so let me do Gullywash this week. I'm always going to preface it with this. Do not take this as fact. This is merely an outline of what you can do on a lot of these points. And it's just a starting pack. If you find something that works for you, do it. But yeah, so generally on this map, there are two ways to really play it on Roamer. It's either, so usually this is the rollout. You can roll out your own choke if you want, but usually it ends up being something like this. And from here, either you can play on the floor either side and try and get either spam on their med big door up the cross, or try and 1v1 a soldier on floor. If you end up going here, make sure you're aware someone could go down drop, but a lot of times nobody really does this anymore. It's a lot of, you either go from your own side and spam the big door and try and get damage out on the med, or the other side, same thing. But so things to watch out for when you're going on floor is getting double teamed. So if you go floor and you do it every single mid and the other team can't really get things going, a lot of times it's going to be a soldier fights you along with either another soldier or a scout, and they just 2v1 you for an instant kill. And in that situation, you either got to have to hope you trade, or you just tell your team to push while they have a 5v4. So it's a bit rough. It's kind of annoying. I don't really like floor mids, really. I'm more of a high bomb guy. And like I just said, well, you can also go there drop, but it's kind of a cheese mid. Do it at your own, beware. But usually the mid I like to do, I kind of messed it up, but so usually it's a high bomb off this where you can either jump on the demo, you can jump on the med and big door, you can jump on elbow, or you can fade off onto your own side and just like spam from like here or something. So usually this is, I don't know, the good thing about high bombs is you can do anything with it. So for example, I want to high bomb, put pressure, and fade off and spam. There you go. You take minimal damage, you make the med a bit scared, take a bit more time, maybe pull a scout off. If you want to come in on the demo really early, you do a jump that sends you faster and more downwards, or you just get on the demo instantly. If you want to, you know, freak out the demo but go for the med, like high bomb, strafe, and then just decide to go here. But there's so many things you can do. You can mix it up as much as you want. If you want, you can high bomb under the roamer on floor. You can do anything. So the other mid, like the only really other mid you really do, besides maybe if you want to just play passive in your big door, but is going your own choke. And there's two things you really do with this. Either your team goes up right or they come left, and you bank on them coming your side, so you're just sitting here waiting. Or you go down drop and try and kill the roamer and catch someone out. It's a really safe mid where you're not going to really take damage, but you're also not going to really have impact for a little, like the first part of mid. You're only going to really have impact if they go your side, or if they have a roamer near drop where you get a free 100 damage rocket off on them and you basically win the fight, or you just have positive damage trade. So that's really all the mids there are to at least start with. And a lot of the map ends up being, if nothing happens in the first few seconds, you double bomb, or one of your soldiers can do this jump, land wherever he wants, and then the other one either can jump from floor or do the same thing off of maybe that wall. And it's a lot of double soldier coordination, so you can push scouts across point, you land on the demo, you land on the med, you do whatever, but that's how most of the time mids work out. You either win in the first bit, or you win later where it's a lot of double bombs, or you end up just spamming forever, which, if you're spamming, I shouldn't have to tell you to do that. But, so, now that we got that done with, I'm going to go from last to last. Let me make sure, okay, I am recording. I don't have to do this again. We have to spend an hour cutting stuff. But so let's start with holding your own last. So on this map, usually how it's going to work is you're going to want someone on each of these doors, one projectile, excluding this door, because usually you're going to be able to see it. You want to decide where your gun is. I'm going to start with even Ubers. So in an even Uber situation, most of the time how it works is your pocket plays around here. Your demo has traps maybe on the bomb there and on Balk or on River. One of those. And let's say they don't have a sniper, and they send a scout water. So most of the time, one of your soldiers is going to rotate onto the rim and either chill there or here, so you can't get spam from River. Only thing is you can't really get a buff as well, but you got to choose which one you want. And the main thing is, hopefully no one really jumps in on you from River, which most of the time they will, so maybe move a little bit. And most of the time you have a gun. You just need to make sure no one gets free cap time. Number one worry is cap time, because if they do stuff and there's no one's here and they put sticks on it, a soldier jumps on top of it, and they have a scout capping, that could be round. So number one thing is someone needs to be always on top of watching river, and if someone goes into water, someone needs to be on top of point, making sure no one caps. And if you're not doing that, most of the time you'll either be on balk, be on river duty where you're kind of just here spamming it. And if they have a sniper, a lot of times the peaks are going to be from main, either side, or river. So one of your projectiles need to establish who wants to go where. A lot of times the roamer will end up going here and just spamming this and trying to make sure they don't get a free peek. Only worry is that you're not going to have heals and you're going to get spammed. Maybe chop from main or something, but a demo can't hold this. It really depends on who wants to do what. Anyone can do it, but someone's got to be on top of that. And so that's really it for even Uber holds. Okay, so for disad holds, the key is you need someone at a spawn, because most time if someone wants to bait cap, they can bait cap, and getting in spawn as a roamer or both soldiers in spawn kind of just round over, because no one's going to stop point. So either you're going to have to be on balk, trying to fight lobby and maybe just deter people and then jump point afterwards. You can play maybe in this spawn door, and when they Uber in, if they chase you, then you're in spawn. If they don't, you jump past them either into river, on top of point, stuff like that. And you can always jump behind the Uber onto people behind it. Only whereas the med may turn around and just insta-give you, where it's not going to be great. Last things you can really do, so you can play on balk or shutter, push lobby, put pressure out. You can play and jump river, or you can play in secret/water. So the thing about secret/water is you're going to be able to stop the point. The only worry is if you get telegraphed, you get found out, and they just instantly kill you while they still have Uber. And depending on where your demo plays, if your demo plays in water, maybe you don't want to be in there as well, or you do, so you can help them out. But on this map, it's a lot of communication. Someone's got to be in certain parts, stuff like that. But if you're in water, you just have to be aware of when they can cap. So if they Uber into river and it's been like 3 seconds, you don't want to be here because they're going to be on cap and you're in no man's land. You can't get there in time. You can't go through river and get there in time. So you're kind of screwing your team. And if you're playing in secret, try not to show yourself until they get on cap. If you see someone go for it and they're still Ubered, push out, get the kill, and then maybe back up into water or jump out. Stuff like that. Just make sure you are on point duty. 100% you are the last defense. You have to stop the point. Stuff like that. So that is last. Most time you're not going to be off-classing as well. So from this point on, most time how most people hold is you clear lobby, you get your demo to hold both shutters, and then everyone goes river. So most of the time, at least what I like doing is either your combo goes through river, your combo goes through lobby. Whatever door they don't go through, you go through. So if they end up going through lobby, maybe you take your time, make sure everything's clean, shoot a rocket there, shoot a rocket there. Clear water. Make sure to clear above this, and then get to river and be there for the fight. And if they end up going river, what you should do is probably, you need someone to push lower lobby to clear wood for your demo, but you also need to clear the shutter, lockers, and then potentially like up there, but no one really hides there. But clearing wood is pretty easy. Shoot a rocket there. Should hit them. Also clearing above here. And once your demo gets lobby, then you can go to river and then try and get through and make some space. A lot of times soldiers going to be here. Spam that. There's going to be traps maybe on this ramp, maybe on this wall, somewhere else. And then you can high bomb in, put a lot of pressure. Stuff like that. Any scout tips? No. Not in particular. But usually that's how you're going to push out a last. So, let's say holding second even Ubers. So, a lot of the time, it's going to end up being, it's the same thing. A lot of this map is, you can play either projectiles on either door. You just got to talk about it. So, a lot of the times, what really happens now is 2 soldiers choke demo big door. So, soldier here, usually you leave 1 soldier, either roamer or pocket, doesn't really matter. Someone just got to do it. And a lot of times it's going to be just a spot. So you want to stand here, so you get a spot, maybe here so they can't sneak up in choke, but just don't take a 1v1, just keep eyes, stay alive. If they start pushing you, back up, keep spamming the door, let people know, scout will turn, stuff like that. So that's if you have a double soldier choke. Usually you want 1 guy above it, just so if they do push, and the guy who's really taking contact will have to get forced back, and you're still above here, and you get to shoot stuff. But if you do play your demo choke, a lot of the time you're gonna play in big door, and the one thing is you can take a 1v1 in lobby, but over time I learned taking the 1v1 lobby is good for the offense, because what they want is to isolate a 1v1. So a lot of times is you're gonna be playing here spotting, spam them, and then as soon as someone goes in lobby, what you can do is just jump river. So only worry is maybe they re-peek shutter and kill someone, but now they're kind of stuck there. So if they go river, you have a good 1v1 because you have the head glitch, you know. You have good spam. Only thing is they have a health pack. And if they go lobby, you can turn, shoot that. And if they go big door, you can always shoot down or you rotate and spam. But try not to take a 1v1 in lobby unless you're just feeling it, you know. And I guess again, the reason why you play double soldier choke now. So more so than having soldier's choke, it's having a demo big door, because demo standing here in big door, you get the perfect spam for this entire area. You have sticks above this door, you have sticks on this door, you deny everything. And if beam rotates, you just stand here shooting 8 stickies into this choke. And it's super good. And this is where most people break things, and it makes it a lot harder to make things happen, especially if there's sticks on this door and you want to send a scout behind. Or if there's sticks here, if there's sticks there, if there's sticks there, if there's sticks on one of these doors. It could be anywhere, and it's just really obnoxious, and it's really good. So a lot of times you're going to play 2 soldiers choke. Second on Uber disad. So usually you're not going to have a soldier on big door, just because what is he really going to do here? A lot of times the scout could do what a soldier does, where they just spot and you stack 2 soldiers choke. Either double above or double somewhere else, where this is the door most of the time people try and milk through, where it's like of the moment and you can't really spot it as well, where you have one soldier on spot duty, where he's just spotting this. You can also see the drop off if people jump down, which just like a little thing is some teams, I don't know if people do it at the lower divs, is you drop off and then you run up elbow because people assume that you're rotating big door. Just like a little meta game thing. But usually you want a soldier there, a spot that you can play. This is like the trip spot. Trip uses all the time. You wouldn't think it's good, but it's kind of hard to spot someone and you get really good spam off. So it's not bad. But usually you want a soldier above choke. The thing is, if once they get through choke, this guy's like, usually how it works is to break this and try and milk through. A soldier's going to jump through. That was a bad jump, but he jumps through all the way. And once they see a soldier above choke, he's going to jump you. So either you have to A, counter jump, or B, commit on choke where there's going to be sticks on the floor. Which it's kind of hard to get a force on this point if they're ready for it and they have a good setup. So most of the time you want to either deny the soldier coming in instantly or just deny this door as long as possible so people can either rotate to better places or rotate your demo to have better spam on this door, and then maybe your scout and your other soldier can just isolate and kill this guy while your other guy shuts down choke. And if they do go big door, usually you want one guy to stay here just to make sure no one gets through choke free and bombs on you like in river or above point or something like that. But one of your soldiers should probably rotate here just so you get good spam off. You don't let him through and you can still get out if you need to. Just, jump out. Stuff like that. I think that's it for this point. Yeah. But main things is make sure choke's not free, because big door usually you can rotate in time. And it takes a little bit of time to get through before you're like... When you're spotted to when you get in is longer than when you're spotted to when you get in at choke. And plus, once you get through choke, you're on high ground and everything. And you have so much space to work with. So, just be aware of that. So, I guess I'll do pushing into mid. So, this map is going to have the general theme of just go where your combo's not going. So, combo goes big door, go choke, delay. Things you got to watch out for is drop down. Traps in the ammo pack, traps on this wall, traps on drop down, traps on either side of this wall, where a lot of times how you break it is you send a soldier drop. But if your flanks here and you go drop, it can be bad if they get a timing and push it. Other things is elbow, either of these corners, here. Above choke in any of these spots in this corner, in the bush, everywhere. But the main things is if your team's pushing big door, usually they're going to pop through instantly. It's kind of hard to milk it unless you have like a you get a good timing and the other team's not really set up or ready for it or know how to stop it. So a lot of times you're just going to play slow. Make sure you don't get back caps, play it passive. If anything, you could be alone here, but usually on Gully you don't play alone. But just make sure you have vision. Just take it slow. Clear elbow. Your team should be able to spot stuff for choke for you from big door. Like you won't have to clear most of the stuff. I think you still gotta watch out for trapping that, trap. There's so many like little ledges like here, above there, on the box, on the ramp. There's just so many things. And then yeah, like I said, elbow. You can also hide up here. No one really does it, but you can hide up along this whole thing. And then where's the grate? There it is. No one ever uses that, but if the other team somehow is in there for some reason, you can kill them. Yeah, so just make sure you take it slow, don't get back capped, because once someone gets behind, it's a pain. And so if your team goes choke, an angle I see not enough people use is shooting this, because it clears all the traps above it, and it's super free, and it knocks all the sticks off. It's crazy good. You just have to aim it so it's just past where the shutter is, or the whatever it's called. And the thing with big door is a lot of the times how your combo is going to break choke is your pocket's going to go down drop, your team's going to edge choke, and the soldier jumps up, gets on them, and then your flank gets through, watching for traps on either side, and then just high bomb. With mouse pad, I think it's the GSR. But, so, how it works is, yeah, so either you're going to have your combo lead where your soldier from drop goes first, or your flank's going to lead, or if they're stacking choke, you just jump on the guy choke, get a pick there, or you commit with your combo if there's not enough people choke, and then just kill the guy's choke. So for example, if they have 4 people on this side and like 1 or 2 on this side, commit on this guy. So then you'll pull people back, draw eyes, you'll take a 2v2, and then your soldier from drop will get in. Somebody won't be spotting it as well. Stuff like that. Okay, so then also, so for example, if they're playing really passive where it's just 2 soldiers alone here, everyone else is there, high bomb on the guy's choke and just juggle them. Make sure your combo can get through. You may die for it, but your team will get through. You'll turn into a double one with your pocket. Your flank scout may climb up with you, and just wherever there's not a lot of people, go. And if it's like split 3-3, go choke, just so you're not isolating yourself in a 2v3. And that is pushing into mid. Okay, holding mid on this map. Okay, so holding mid on this map, a lot of the times you're going to have a double soldier setup choke and demoed 6 on big door on that side, where you have one guy spotting, a scout watching drop, and then a soldier on high ground. Like either here, just anywhere. Maybe even an elbow if you want to cheese it, maybe by drop if you think no one's going to go there. But main goal is to, once you get a spot, make sure they don't get through the choke, because as soon as they get through the choke, that's where everything starts falling apart. So your scout that's watching drop should be able to come over and just like annoy this guy and not let him through. The main thing, as soon as the scout gets through and like runs into elbow, it's super annoying, because then I am going to upload this to YouTube. But yeah, so you just want to make sure no one gets through for free. And if need be, people rotate over and help you out. But make sure no one gets through free. They don't get a free Uber. They have to pop every time. That is the goal. And you should try and I only have 1 soldier death. One of them should get out. Have it be either big door choke, wherever's near. But try not to have 2 soldiers die, because they can actually steamroll that. If they even get a force and get 2 soldiers. So that's holding mid. Usually you don't have a soldier watching drop. Hiding spots on this map. It's asymmetrical, so there's a lamp only on this side. Spot no one uses because you get stuck in it sometimes is here. Like, I'm not stuck right now, but you can, and you can't leave. But it's kind of an unconventional spot. It's a bit iffy to work, because I'll show what happens when you get stuck. Like, you can't... What is hit? That has a hitbox? Alright. There we go. So I am stuck now. I cannot leave. Is it only if you crouch? Oh, okay. You know, I kind of want to test that now. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's a spot. What are the spots? I showed you on the elbow. You can go above any of these things. I think you can go up here, right? You can't go too high, otherwise you just slide off. But there you go. Go here. It's kind of weird. Maybe if you crouch on it, you can't get seen. But yeah, those are the main spots on this. Like I said, above any of these things. You can even hide in this corner. Or is it just on the other side? Is it really asymmetrical again? It is. So you can hide in this corner. Just because there's this thing here. Actually, you can hide. You just can't hide in the corner on this side. But yeah, that's it. So, alright, so pushing choke or pushing second. So, either, same thing, your team's going to go big door, your team's going to go choke. A lot of the times on this map, you don't really need to push flank. You can have like one guy watch it. So, for example, maybe if you're going choke, you want 2 soldiers here. And big door's not that big of a problem as long as you're not taking too long and you have a scout at least looking backwards. So, let's say you're going choke with your team. You want one guy to be like entry. So, watch for traps on the wall, stuff like that. Jump through. Just get in deep and then get a spot above choke. Get a spot on where they are. And if there's no one close and there's just a soldier above, like I said, jump him. Get him out of there. And once he's out of there, maybe you can call it 6 on choke, wherever. And then your team can start flooding in. Thing to watch out for is a soldier high bombing in onto this, yeah. And I didn't say that earlier, but you can high bomb to try and get a force. It's just pretty predictable. So if they come through choke and you want to high bomb from river, it's like it's not a great play, but if you get the force, then whatever. But yeah. Usually how it works, like I said, you have one soldier jump through there. If it's clear and there's a guy above, your guy choke can also jump on them. And you just get that guy out of there. That's usually how that works. So let's say your team's going choke and you want to go big door. Same thing. Shoot the traps this way around. You know, if someone's spotting you, then just keep them there, because that means they're not at choke. So maybe walk forward, do some spam. If no one's watching, what you can do is sneak through and try and maybe get on the med, who's usually around here, and it's kind of a timing thing. It's a bit weird. Or if you really want and you don't see, if you know their demo's not here and holding lobby, you can push through and either go through lobby or you can go all the way, wrap all the way behind. Just know if you make rocket jump, they're going to hear it. But you can flank and then pinch them if you want. So if no one's watching big door, feel free to abuse it. Usually someone will be watching it somewhat, so you won't get it free. But yeah. Oh no, I do have a... Do I have a GS? I don't even remember what I have. Does it say it? I don't know. Korsinski's bullied me to buy this. You know. But, so let's say your team goes big door. You're going to have to go choke. Because you can't leave choke open. Because getting wrapped is too common. A lot of times you're going to be alone, maybe with a scout. This is probably the best place to be. Just because, you know, you get the spot and you're not too close. And then once your team starts pressuring, maybe you can start walking up. The only problem is they may just drop down and like push you. So you can stay here the whole time if you want. If you want to get a bit risky, you could just jump through choke and then get a spot. But it could be a timing thing, because as soon as you're about to go, a soldier and scout and pushing, you just die. So just be aware of that. I think that's all of that. I didn't actually talk about holding mid. Trying to do a stalemate on this end. So a lot of times how sacking works on this map is either you're going to sack through big door, get a scout behind, maybe trade, snipe, stuff like that, or you're going to sack a soldier through choke. So if you want to sack through choke, same thing. Usually your pocket or your demo goes here to try and get a bit of space, take a bit of damage, you know, stuff like that. And then you're going to jump through either, like I said, through this way, or you're just going to jump straight into the med. Just be aware. It's very predictable, and they're going to know. And if your team goes big door, a lot of times one of your soldiers is going to stay here and do the same thing where you just spot it, play it safe. It's there. If they start pushing you, back up onto high ground, just spam. You're going to usually have a scout watching drop, so you don't have to worry about that. But just make sure you get image or a spot on choke, stuff like that. If you do go big door, same thing. Clear the sticks, make room for your scout. If you want to send 2 behind, feel free. And if you don't, then have your scout run behind, take a 1v1. Or if you want, maybe hide in this corner if you get a good timing and they don't spot it. And then just have your team peek it. And passively, where eventually someone's going to walk in. Shoot the guy. Have your scout come to you 2v1 to get a pick. Or you can just if they rotated, jump in, try and get a force. Stuff like that. So I talked about pushing into second, stuff like that. Now pushing into, I guess holding second. So a lot of the times, demo's going to be holding these shutters, like maybe right here or above point, where they just spot. So no one's going to get behind in a lot of these situations. And if they don't, then you're going to be playing in big door, making sure no one gets behind here, because it is a pain in the ass if no one's watching baby door. And while they have Uber ad and they're pushing, a soldier gets all the way behind and goes right here, because you wipe almost every time unless you insta-give this guy. Because even if you do, you get juggled and take 100 because the soldier's behind show. So watch out for that. But most of the time, you're going to want at least one soldier right here and just like peeking it, spamming. You get a way better spam than they get on you. Worst comes to worst, get bowed. Do it again. Rinse and repeat. You can focus fire whatever class you want. If you want to shoot the med, shoot the med. If you want to shoot someone else, shoot someone else. That's most of the time how it works. You can either have another soldier here and back up and just spam this part. Just know, if they pop in, you're probably going to die. So, yeah. Okay. So, some hiding spots you can have. I missed it, but there's a couple hiding spots in this map here. This one doesn't really work because I think they can see your feet. Everyone knows that spot. You can hide behind point. You can hide above the rock. Like there. You have the Drac spot. Yeah, you can go here. It's not... People don't usually use this just because you can get spotted pretty easily if they go river. Given they may not look here. But, yeah. Another spot that I don't actually see a lot of people use is... It's on this side. Man. It's actually... Dude. There we go. Here. So this is a pretty good spot. I don't know how well they can see your feet. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's as good as there. Or like they can see your feet as easily. Because there's a bit. But pretty good spot to work with. But that's mostly everything for that part. Okay, so pushing into lobby. Make sure someone clears wood. Just so you don't want to... As soon as you go river, someone pushes wood behind and gets a flank. You know, have your roamer either go here. If your combo goes river, go lobby. If your combo goes lobby, go river. General theme on this map, go where your combo doesn't. Make sure you don't get back out. No problem. But, like, spots you got to watch out for here, here. Make sure to know if their demo's doing a river hold. So, like, clear there, maybe above. There's a couple spots it can be on this wall, on the ramps, on the ceiling. It's just annoying. I know game 6. Is it actually that big of a blowout? Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. Alright. Yeah, so if you're going river, make sure you're aware of that. You can take your time to clear it. Stuff like that. And if your team goes river, clear lobby. Go wood if you want. Go main shutter if you want. Make sure to clear the sticks on the floor. Clear the sticks above. Walk through. Start taking it. Look for sticks all around. And then you'd start taking lobby. Stuff like that. Okay. So that's how you take lobby, I guess. And then... So, sacking into last. Big thing with a lot of last is you got to kill the gun. Without killing the gun, it really limits what you can do. It's a lot of just going water and then trying to get cap time or going through main and getting cap time. So, a lot of times the spam can be from here depending on the gun. The gun's usually around like there, left spawn this corner on the point. I don't know, wherever. And you just got to find out where you can spam it from. You're probably going to take a lot of damage. And one thing that is not worth it is if you get killed getting the gun, it's going to make it a lot harder to sack. If you want it to be effective, you kind of have to send 2 more. So you're going to be 3 down, which usually you want to only be down 2 on this map, just so you can spread out and cover all the doors in second. But, so, things you can spam, like, so if the gun's there, go balk, only where a soldier bombing it. Whatever. But you can spam through the pipes. Just find where the gun is, spam it down, and then eventually you can... Sacking through balk is kind of a weird thing. You gotta make sure there's no sticks and there's not a soldier. And then you get a pretty clean jump as long as there's no gun, but most of the time it's gonna be covered. And most of what the general thing that happens is you send a scout water. He goes to point. You send a soldier river. He either jumps on the point or jumps on the med. Traps you got to watch out for here on the ceiling, the wall. There's so many dumb traps on this map. Like this one kind of denies half the bombs. But if you jump here on top of point, you get to shoot people off and you let your scout cap and you shoot a soldier off the room potentially. So a lot of times that's what happens. Or you can go water. It's like a pain train thing, but yeah. Or you can do like pressure cooker, which if you don't know what that means, you send a scout water, you peek like a soldier back, you peek soldier river with your demo, you have send a scout main maybe into secret, and then try and get through point. Because this is actually pretty good if you're peeking river. If you can just run your scout through here and get behind, you get pretty good cap time. And if they don't spot, it's super good. It's not as common as the other ones as well. So, what else? So pushing last with Uberad. So, pushing last with Uberad, at least there's a couple things you can do. Something I kind of started doing is I have Pain Train. When they Uber in, I go water, clear the sticks. If someone's in here, I take a good 1v1. I go here, shoot sticks off of that, shoot sticks off the roof, cap in this corner with Pain Train. And if someone comes, you either jump out or you go back in to the water. Pretty good. If your team Ubers to river, you could just trail. Only worries if someone jumps behind. But it's pretty safe. Only worries people going behind in lobby. But if you're just focusing forward and trying to make something really quick, someone going lobby doesn't really matter. So they Uber through a river, you jump on whatever your team's jumping on, or you jump on someone back or something. The only other really place you go, because you don't really go main, because you're just at super low ground, and you could potentially get pushed, is lobby, which can be scary because a lot of times how teams do it is one soldier always pushes behind. So usually you can just play right here. You get a spot on shutter, and if they come, just jump spam this and get a good enough damage trade. But a lot of times they're going to take you out of the fight. But they're probably going to die more often than you are. So, and then if they don't, then if people kite this way instead of spawn, you get a really good spam angle. And if they go into spawn, just take all the ground and jump whatever spawn door your demo's not on and try and stuff them so you can get on cap. So I think that's basically it on this map. If anyone has questions, ask them. I guess I'll go to some hiding spots that you can use. But, dude, I can't ever get this on soldier. There we go. So there's that. Obvious ones like here. Yeah, I know there's a spawn elbow. I went elbow already. What else? I think that's mainly all the hiding spots on this map. Oh, there is a fast rollout you can do. The one, I guess. Oh, no one uses that anymore. Second point on top of the pillar. Yeah, I already did that spot, dude. Yeah, no one uses the spot anymore because it's so played out, and everyone usually checks it. But it can work if you get like. The times I have used it and it works is it's kind of like a high bomb that you don't spot. So if they push through choke, you don't want to stay here too long because eventually someone's going to look. So you see the soldier jump through initially, high bomb, and sink. I've gotten a few med drops or picks there like that. How to do big door on the lamp spot. Do the big door. I've done like all these spots already. Like I've done this one. You can like go here as well. Which is kind of funny, and if you get high enough, it's not terrible if you know they're coming big door. And just drop down on the med. Yeah, like I said, also you can get here. Or is it here? You can get behind here. What? Where is it? Or is it on the other side only? There we go. Okay, you can get there. This is a pretty good spot. The other side of mini ramp on red. What? What does that mean? What is mini ramp? Dude, what are the lamp? I jumped on that. In big door. And on these lamps? What? Not you. This is terrible. Opposite to elbow, near the fence. What, are you talking about this thing? The rock? Dude. I don't even use hiding spots. Hiding spots are bad at the top because everyone knows them. And usually checks them, but I think that's it. I don't think there's any other questions, you know? But yeah, I'll do this next week. Maybe I won't actually because it's Villa and I've played it like twice. So, you know, use hiding spots at your own. You know what you're getting from hiding spots, so don't expect too much. All right, I'm the host, Sandblast. I'm gonna go watch the heat get blown out. So, yeah.